All right. Hello and welcome back, THL, to Hearthcenter. This is our first week recap of the matches that have been underway. This is season 19. We're diving into it as we always do. It's just the three of us here tonight, your regular group, as it were. So starting off with intros, let's go over with the man with the best gift, Dr. Lotus Knight. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Great. I think we have a really hot show for everyone starting the new season, and I'm really excited to show everything we have.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We've condensed this show a little bit too because there will be a Wild show incoming very soon that gets to cover Wild NA and Wild EU. So we're down to 4 series to cover on Hearth Center for you with Hero, Legacy, Pro, and Battlegrounds. Um, but leaves us with a little bit more room to talk about some other things as well. Moving on, though, with our other introduction, it is Op Extraordinaire DeSharmo. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here for a second week. A little bit extra time to prep today, but I think I'll be able to cut down that time, next week. But yeah, I'm
Solid.
doing good. Information we didn't
Glad to
need to
hear
hear.
it. So without further ado, let's talk week one. We have some players of the week to bring to you for the exciting action that happened over this last week, right before the nerfs shake everything up for us. So let's start off. Lotus Knight, talk to me about our player of the week in Hero.
Player of the week in Hero. He's my teammate at Diamond is shining bright to start of the season with a Diamond 3-0 sweep over the grossly underseeded Nice Jewish Owl. A huge upset in the seed and a great win for a strong team to start the season. And this was sent in by Itachi himself.
Nice. Yeah, big win for Diamond there. Quite an upset, but Diamond. He is, of course, the guy who carried Eddie in Tespa a little while back. We can't ever forget about that. So don't ever count Diamond out. Nice win. Congrats on the player of the week. Next up, we have Legacy. And Legacy, I mean, it feels like it really could only go to one person. Darth Vader here beat Nails. It's already the big game hunter of the season. This player of the week goes to Darkside. Keeps Serenite Pain Gang in it on points, meaning that STD is the actual
Yeah.
lowest point earner of the first week. Just an insane performance for probably what everyone expected to be one of the most certain blowouts of the week. Darkside coming up big and taking down a massive upset victory. Congratulations to Darkside. Next, we are going to skip Wild for now and leave that in the realm of the upcoming Wild show. So, of course, stay tuned, Wild NA and EU players, for what you'll see in the future for Player of the Week. We're going to move on to Pro. So, Desharmo, talk to me about Pro. Who was our Pro Player of the Week?
For pro, we have Reverb and his Aussie Pro Mafia came to Wet Goose's turf with one thing in mind: to take care of business. This was barely a match. It was a shakedown, with Reverb taking a 3-0 victory, setting up APM's win and sending a message to the competition. These grimy goons have come to play, and that is from Bone Masher.
Nice.
I love it when we see new people coming in and providing their write-ups. I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome, and congrats to Bone Masher on the big win there. Or sorry, not Bone Masher. Bone Masher for the write-up. Reverb for the big win there. That is a pretty impressive start. And last up, we have our Player of the Week for Battlegrounds. And Lotus, I have to have you read this because I have no idea how to pronounce this person's name. So, throwing you in the fire. Take it away, buddy.
Sure. Um, Mewy, 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 because that sounds funnier. Mewy, a newcomer in the THL, but not the battleground scene. Mewy put on a show, grabbing a first and second place, making them the leading point scorer in the opening week. Now, teams need to be on the lookout now that they know what to expect from Mewy. Congratulations in week one, and this was submitted by Corridon.
Nice. Yeah, congratulations to all of our players of the week. There some really impressive leadoff performances, and I I really enjoy hearing you say Maui over and over again. So just an extra little bonus there. But that's awesome, and looking forward to seeing our players of the week. As the season goes along, and who's going to join these ranks. But with that, let's move on to finally our recaps. It's been a little while since we were able to actually bring you a full, all series week of action, which we finally have. So let's lead off with the Hero Series. We are going to start with current team at the top is a three-way tie. We've got Bullner Jams 03, that's my team. Anyone playing Maestra, and at Diamond, the three top teams tied for first. And unfortunately, Diamond losing a hidden tiebreaker here for the logo on the screen. Unfortunate. With some teams very close behind, and Tan Pam Snakes on a campaign and No Pros here, just 1 point behind there.
I actually realized something here. Um, I think that Diamond should have been up there because when these pictures were taken, anyone playing Maestra lost the match this week. So, well, actually, you know what? I think it doesn't matter. Never mind. I think it still would have
Yeah,
standed.
no, week 2 has no bearing on week 1
Yeah,
for
never mind.
standings.
Well, I mean, a vote of some confidence got their first win over someone playing in Maestro, but it doesn't matter. Forget what I just said, everybody. Forget.
Just
I'm
need
gonna.
reversal.
I'm gonna just say, doodle. You don't remember what I just said. Go.
Nice. All right, but let's dive into a breakdown of our first match. So, Desharmo, you want to take it away with our first highlighted match recap here?
Our first highlighted recap match is at Diamond versus F2L Black, and this was a very. I mean, it's two. I would say two powerhouses, two teams that people were feeling were in good positions at the beginning of the season, and I think at Diamond showed how powerful they can be. Uh, Lotus Knight and always just in time, just picking up the wins in the ones and the two in close matches versus Neji Boston and Itachi. Mick, unfortunately, not picking up a win versus Reba, but it was close. Diamond, which I think is insane, a 3-0 with a 110 PR difference over Nice Dursal. And then this is what I was thinking about at Diamond. I think if Ruski can get it going at Diamond is going to be impossible to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. Fish picking up a huge win over there, so keeping it close. And yeah, I think at Diamond is a very strong team, and I think we might be seeing more of them later on in the season.
Yeah, congrats to Lotus as well for getting that big victory over Neji. And as mentioned, of course, Diamond getting that Player of the Week victory over Nice Jewish Owl. Pretty close match. Looks like it could have gone either way. There were a lot of really close games. I mean, every single one except for Diamond Sweep literally went to 5 games. So a decently strong showing for F2L Black right out of the gate. And the road to 1K, maybe a team of destiny. I'd be excited to see championship merch for that team. But Lotus, any thoughts on this match as a player before we move on to our next highlighted match?
My match with Neji was one of the weirdest matches I've ever played in THL. I just want to say that.
Nice. And not elaborate further?
No, no. I can
Solid.
actually. Two very weird points is one of the matches actually boiled down to a fatigue, a shaman fatiguing a warrior, which was very unexpected,
Wow.
and as well as there was a just Quest Shaman being awesome because Quest Shaman was crazy, and yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, with that, let's move on to our next one. And we're going to talk about anyone playing Maestra, APM, taking a victory over MaST, Lotus's former team that he ditched to join Diamond's team here. And MaST, not having too hot of a start as APM taken a pretty big win and puts themselves in that three-way tie. So since we're down to just the three people, I will actually do a little recap of my own for this week in each series. So I'm going to start with this one. Vino Spumoni taking a 3-0 sweep over Always Lethal in the 1 seed. Magnificent fighting back for MaST, getting that 3-2 over Jammies. But KSW, a pretty strong early performance here, shows the 1-1 in their name. I guess they've already lost in week 2, but doesn't matter. Week 1, taking down a big win over Alien Santa 3-1. Mako got the win on the other side for MaST, and then Nomad Farmer brought it home for APM with a 3-0 over Saku. And this team just looks strong. APM, they seem pretty solid across the board, and especially when Jammies, who's consistently solid, and Wyfair, who I think was way up there in like the MVP race for Hero last season. If those two are your leadoffs who actually lose a game, this is going to be a team to be reckoned with. Meanwhile, Mako brought back defending champion himself and Saku, but the rest of the team looks different. And who knows? Maybe MaST is going to have a rocky season.
Yeah, I really like anyone playing Maestro APM's team here. I mean, Vino Spumoni, I think is not only has a great name, but if he can pick up wins in the 1 seed with his PR, it just really opens up the 5 seed and even the 4 seed to really pick up some wins between both of those. And I think his team is another team to watch out for in the Hero series.
Yeah, absolutely. Lotus, any thoughts on this one?
Um, I mean, I think MaST lost the first one, but this is still a really good team. Um, I miss playing with them. I can say that, but I'm very excited for Red Diamond at the same time. And I would not give up on MaST yet. Also, Saku is extremely OP.
Nice. Well said. Saku's always OP. All
Yeah.
right. With that, let's move on to our last highlighted match of Hero for the week. And that's going to be Tanpam Surf Slam versus Vote of Some Confidence. So I tried to structure this in a way that we didn't just have Lotus talking about his team winning and Desharmo talking about his team winning. So Lotus, talk to me about Tanpam's getting that victory, the 15-10 over Vote of Some Confidence this last week.
Oh yeah. So Votus and Confidence brought the Hot Squad that they had last year. I believe they brought Skittles in. I don't remember who Skittles is replacing, but Skittles is always also a hero winner with a crazy 6-1 record last season. Um Thalfix, I don't know if that person was in Vote. So Vote had good chances, and I think everyone expected Vote to perform really well, but Tanpam's just showing they're still a hot team. Desharmo and Oz may have flopped, but JR, Sunday, and Wash in the Wind just kept the team alive and surfing for another victory.
Nice. Desharmo, any comments on Tanpam's leadoff victory?
Yeah, every now and then you need your team to carry you, and that's what my team this week. And we picked up Sunday, this for our team, and I think he's just going to be amazing in the 3 seed. If he can pick up wins and Wash, I think is a way better player than his PR says. I think we're going to be having a great season this season, and I'm not going to be flopping every week. So
Nice. Yeah, honestly, I think Wash is a really good player, and him in the 5 seed is definitely something that bodes well for Tan Pams. Osmonaut been around for a very long time and consistently does well. You've got you and JR at the top, and Sunday is a big steal in the 3, leading off his season with a sweep over the commish himself. That's a great way to start off. And Tan Pams, they're always contending for titles, and this season, at least week 1, where we love to overreact to week 1, appears no different, and a team to keep an eye on.
and it's no scratch to vote of some confidence. That's an insanely strong team. I think their only weak spot is their 4, but everybody else is really strong.
True. Yeah, and to my teammates on Bolner Jams, who are also in the top spot and we're hoping maybe to be talked about. No, I don't want to be accused of favoritism. Get out of here, guys. Prove it again next week. All right, but let's move on to Legacy, unless we have any other things to say about our first week in Hero.
I think we're looking at another very competitive season. I mean, this every season it's competitive. I mean, I play Heat Shock week 1 and I play Based Ink in week 2. That's how competitive right now.
Yeah. I agree. Hero always seems to be insane. I will say that this might be a season where we finally might see like the start of a drop off of this escalating arms race of crazy power levels of teams in Hero. But we'll see. I don't know if anything could top last season, but remains to be seen. It's early, but I'm excited for the season nonetheless.
Are you ready to move on to Gold Conference and Legacy?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
So leading off, we've got 3 conferences to talk about in Legacy, and we are going to start with Gold. And how fitting that the Golden Wisps lead Gold Conference right behind the other Golden team, if you can call it that, the Light Showers. We don't need to dwell anymore on that name. Those are our top 2 teams, Golden Wisps and Light Showers, with a very strong 21-point leadoff performance, respectively. Right behind them is Defias Brotherhood, a team that was very strong all season last season. And we've got the return of Flame Pimps with 16 points close behind. And then you have your 4 teams that did not get the wins to lead off this week, but very long season, so a lot to be determined before actually picking winners just yet. No need to overreact, right? Or is it Golden Wisps all the way? They didn't actually win before, right? A team called Golden Wisps, but I know that was a team, right? That was like Alex's team, like way back in the earliest days of THL. Do you guys know? Random
I did
THL
not.
lore.
I don't think I knew that.
I'm pretty sure that. Well, maybe it's a trivia question for a future like
Yeah.
THL Family Feud or something.
Someone asked JR that tomorrow because JR is one of the historians here for THL, so he might be able to say that
There you go.
during the show tomorrow.
All right, but let's break down our match recaps. So highlighted matches and an extremely close one that we are going to lead off with. This time, I will throw it over to player on one of the teams that we are going to be recapping here. So Desharmo, lead us off, if you will. Talk to me about Flame Pimps versus Dad Legend. 13-12, super close. Could have gone either way, but Dad Legend came up just a little bit short.
Yeah, our match started off with your mom kid picking up a 3-0, which was really nice, and then we had two losses on Zabe and Haster both losing, and then I played my match, got a win, and so it came down to Blue Spartan. And if he had just gotten one more point, it would have been a tie, which is okay, but you got to give it to Flame Pimps. They're still a strong team. I think everybody on their team is just capable in their particular position and could easily win. I think our mom kid is just insane. So no squash to Cyan. Just and mom kid is really a 1 seed and a 2 seed right now. I think watch out for Flame Pimps. I think they're gonna be a contender. We didn't go down easy. I think 12 points is a really strong showing in a loss. So wait and see for next week. See what we got.
Yeah, absolutely. Flame Pimps, a team that's been around for a little while now. This is maybe their third or fourth season, and they've been regularly competitive. And Dad Legend, I mean, what more can you say about Dad Legend? There's titles, there's merch. It's a very strong team, and especially with your Mumked, just on a tear lately. I don't remember where he started PR wise, but I won a championship with your Mumked on my team, and I think he was in the 4 seed, maybe 3 or 4 seed. I can't remember. Or he might have flip flopped, but he is just steadily marching his way all the way up to 550
Yep.
PR, and just a very, very strong
He
player. Exciting
was.
to watch.
I think when I've joined Dad Legend, I joined as a 4 seed, and your mom kid was the 3 seed. Yellow Dart was a 2 seed, and at the end of the season, your mom kid was the 2 seed, and I was the 3 seed, and it's kind of just stayed there. And slowly, he's creeping up to Honest Zabe, and if this team stays with the PR, I might end up just our mom kid passing Zabe at some point.
Oh man,
Wow.
there you go. But big win for Flame Pimps to start off the season, and Dad Legend, picking up a solid amount of points in the loss. So exciting to see those hard-fought battles to lead off the season. On the flip side of that, we have a match that was not so close. Golden Wisps really just kind of laying the smackdown early on, and a really impressive one too. The players that they faced on the other side are really strong, and just a super impressive lead off here. Golden Wisps taking the 18-7 victory over the Cult Legacy. Always Lethal taking down reigning MVP of Legacy T Stew. One-time rookie of the season until it was revoked for not actually being a rookie, but got the MVP nonetheless. Always Lethal taking the 5-game series victory in the 1 seed. Mick taking a strong performance over Rice Bowl, another very good player, with a 3-1 in the 2. We had a little bit of fight back from the Cult Legacy, Epic Mingo taking a 5-game victory over MPV, but then it was all Wisps from then on out with, is it Steve, just with no E? Stev or Steve? I'm not sure. If you're out there, tell me for the future.
I go with Stev. I mean,
Of,
if you
of
were
the two
Steve, you would
pronouns.
add an E, wouldn't you?
No, you drop the E just to troll people.
Well,
I don't
then
know.
why not both of them?
Either way, big win, a sweep over Quaz. Honestly, the Golden Wisps here, they beat up on the Quaz household, because Quaz and Sharkbait, of course, are together in the same house with the baby on the way, and Steve and Roadrunner, uh, just laid a whole lot of disrespect to that family and just took them down in 6 straight games with no victory on the other side, and a really strong start for our top team here.
Yeah, I think Golden Wisp's another team. Got to look out for in the Gold Conference. All the way across the board, Roadrunner down there in the 5 is gross. You gotta be able to have somebody who can stand up toe to toe with him if you want to get a 1 there. And then Steve. I think with his PR ranking in the 4. I mean, he might be an underrated player in on the Golden Wisps.
Yeah, it looks like a strong team construction as well, PR wise. So this is absolutely a team to watch out for. And I mean, love to see the logo as well. Looks like they even changed the rarity of the card to make it a legendary. Props. So that's fantastic. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this team does as the season goes on. And big early victory there, just taking a lot of points and denying points to your competition. Basically, the best way you can start off the season. So keep an eye on them as the season rolls along. Any other words on the Gold Conference before we move on to Red?
Well, I think we should move on to the red one.
Sweet, let's do it. So our Red Conference leaders, our top two teams that get the logos up on the top. It is the Curse team. Isocles is trying to break that curse, and he's leading off once again with 21 points and a number one spot. Will it hold? Will everything fall apart right before playoffs? Who knows? It's only week one. But Chaos Theory starting off at the top with Seek Guidance as our number two team as the first week comes to a close. F2L White and Bluefish very close behind in point totals with victories. Um, and we're going to start off breaking down the Chaos Theory victory. So 18-8 was the score over Disturbs. This was just a blowout here. And I was kind of surprised the only person that lost was someone I regularly expect to win in a lower seed, which was Risen. But Lotus, take me through this one here. Chaos Theory starts strong.
Chaos Theory, the team that's destined never to make it, apparently. Not the case this season. Strong start over the Stubbs, with Notorious JHP beating Downtown, Lawful Dog beating Blue Jay with a sweep, Icicles also beating Gambler with a sweep, Kotomora 3-2 against Core Finway, and the only loser, Risen. Is that because of that Demon Hunter bring? I'm going to say yes, even though I don't think it is. But yes, strong showing from Chaos Theory.
Yeah, we got just across the board, like a lot of, just dominant performances here. And Disturbs, they've fallen on some hard times in recent seasons, but don't count them out. It's early, and this is a team that has the championship pedigree. I've seen Osmonaut
Oh
and
yeah.
Kura Finway on that team regularly. As the bottom two seeds, they're kind of anchoring this team, and they've definitely fought for titles before. I think they will again.
They've actually
Um,
won a title before.
yeah, that's what I was saying. They won like, didn't they win two? Like Texas Stubbies and then also
Yep.
Stubs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like that's when I say championship pedigree, like they've definitely got, a couple uh, you know, best possible seasons under their belt, and a team to expect will continue to compete again,
You know,
even though, the week one was rough.
one thing I'd like to point out about this match is everybody who brought Rogue won. So I think with the nerfs, I think Rogue is in a much better place than it was before. A lot of these decks kind of suppressed Rogue, and I'm willing to think like if Rogue can win like this when Rogue wasn't as powerful, is it now a go-to must-bring deck?
Mhm.
Yeah, and Isocles got the win with no paladin in his opponent's lineup, so Rogue didn't even run into its best matchup there. So Rogue looking good for Chaos Theory. If you watched me play on Legacy stream, last Sunday though, you wouldn't think Rogue was very good. But it's kind of hard to beat a turn 2, 4, 5 that discounts things and you get steamrolled. Who cares about that? Let's talk about the next match. Our next match is much closer, of course, than Chaos Theory versus Distubs, we had a 14-12 victory for F2L White, taking one down over the Cooler. And Desharmo, take me through this one here.
Yeah, the Cooler. I like that name. It's pretty cool. But F2L White picking up a very close win over a team. I don't want to say they're unknown. A few of these players, a couple of these players are THL knowns, but a new team. And, I like seeing new teams do well. I mean, they got a loss, but 12 points is still significant in a loss. Going down the matches, we got wins from Vino Spumoni, Reed Robson, sorry, and Salad. All three very strong players made names for themselves. And then on the Cooler, C Beck, C Bike, C Beak, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
One of those. And 2-star Mako in the 5 seed, somebody that you would not see as a 5 seed player, probably a very strong 4, maybe even a 3 seed player, and 2-star
He was
Mako.
a Legacy 1 at one point, right?
Yeah, I think he was close, but that's
At least a 2. Yeah.
for him to get a win in the 5 is really strong. And I also the 1 seed CB. Picking up a win over Myadon is really strong. I think that's good sign for the Cooler. So Icer, Bremen, and Sniper Hunter can step it up a little bit. I think the Cooler will be in a fine position. They're not that far off. It's just the beginning of the season, and both of these teams. I'm looking at both of these teams to possibly make playoffs.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Red Conference is wide open right now, and when you have such a closely contested match in the first week, I think both teams are definitely ones to watch out for. Cooler came close, almost got there, but just couldn't quite get enough to beat the F2L color wheel. So with that, that wraps up our view of the red conference. Now we've got silver to discuss, unless there's anything else we wanted to say about red.
I think we're good. We're ready to go to the silver.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's take it on to silver. And silver, we have our top 2 teams. It is one of THL's most storied teams coming back again in the lead. It is Dirty Mike and the boys with the top spot, tied for the top spot, with all pros missing. Our second APM team that we've covered so far on our recaps. People loved the APM acronym this season, and APM is looking good in multiple series as well. So interesting to see that as the lead off. Right behind, we've got Amber Flight Gaming with 18 points, and we had our first ties actually with Redfish and Hot Zilfs getting a tie there. Well, a 14-pointer for not Justin in a loss, which is a rare sight to see. They're actually tied points-wise with Redfish and Hot Zilfs. So very interesting first week start for Silver. But our first match we're going to talk about is the aforementioned Amber Flight Gaming versus Not Justin, a 15-14 win for AFG. And unless you guys want to hear me talk about my own team, I'm not sure who to pass it to. Lotus, you want to run through this one?
How about you do it since you made us all talk about our own teams?
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so in the 1 seed, Neji Boston taking it down 3-2 over Mr. Beluga. This was just a real close match, of course, going to 5, as were every other match except for mine, where Automated Button kind of beat me up on stream. But we had Neji taking a 3-2 win in the 1 for Amber Flight Gaming. Right back came Jimbo taking a 3-2 victory over Itachi in the 3 seed. Dr. Fish coming in with a clutch 3-2 over Pyro in the 4, and Saku with the clutch game 5 victory over Ari in the 5. And that was how the stage was set going into the final match. which was played on stream on Sunday. It was between me and Automated Button, and Button needed to actually get a full sweep in order to actually tie, because Amber Flight had, a pretty significant lead, and he almost did. I was very much on the ropes, down 2-0, and then Warlock did the funny thing, and I played the Wind Fury card and killed him from like 20 plus. And that was enough for Amber Flight to get the first win on the week. And then, of course, Button followed right up with another victory. So congrats to Button again, and really impressive performance from Not Justin in a loss. That is a lot of points in a losing effort. So I think that bodes really well for their team going forward. Amber Flight, just hopefully we can kind of keep the momentum going and keep picking up wins. That ultimately is what it's all about. You get the win, you get the
Mhm.
extra 3 points, you keep moving on to the playoffs.
Yeah, awesome. And Steph, thank you for the follow, buddy. And
Oh,
Dr.
it is
Feach,
Stev. Okay, nice.
and Dr. Feach for the host a while back. Thank you.
All right. Any thoughts on this match before we move on to our next highlighted match?
Well, I think one person was meant to lose and they lost. So
Yeah,
Fair.
I agree. Couldn't have said any better.
We're talking about Itachi, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Nice. Let's move on to the next one.
if whatever makes you happy, buddy.
Yeah, I know. All right. So our next match, we've got another tie. Last season, I feel like was the season of ties. We're probably not going to see even close to as many ties this season as last season, but we do have an early one, and it is Hot Zilfs versus Redfish with a 13-13. So Lotus, take it away on this one here. Um, I mean, literally can't get closer.
No, you cannot get closer than this. The Zilfs, champions from last season, didn't have the hottest of starts. A 3-2 win by Jammies against Karate Dom, but Phoenix coming in with a sub, beating the Big Ted. Donde won somehow against Truth AM with a 3-1 victory, but Anfo lost 1-3 against Trido 2. And 2 Fly was not fly enough for Jim Philos, who closed the match with a tie. Just always surprising to see a tie, especially in at the start of the season. So Vilp's not starting full on like they were at the end of last season, but quite a start.
Yeah. I mean, defending champs hanging in there. 14 points is a pretty solid opener, as we've seen from 3 teams. And we've just got kind of a cluster of teams in striking range for that top spot. We don't have a single team in silver below 10 points, or even
Mhm.
below 11 points, clearly, right now. So, all teams, even in losses, decent performances, and the conference is wide open.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, this looks, at least at week one wise, it looks like probably the most competitive conference out of all the conferences so far.
For sure. But with that, that does wrap our recap of Legacy for week one. Unless we have any final words on Legacy before we do our quick little commercial break and move on to Pro. I'm going to take that as a no.
I just want to say an interesting fun fact. There was no match this week that actually reached 23 points. Not one. No team had 5 wins.
Yeah, we don't always see that. That's a good sign
Yeah.
of competitiveness.
Yep. And
Yeah.
my silence was opping because you said let's do the break, so I had to switch to the
Oh,
thing, and so I couldn't really talk. So
sure. Yeah, no
Lotus,
worries.
you can blame that on Lotus Night. And he doesn't say anything.
I mean,
Naturally.
I can just say I can refer to music. I'll just refer to music here. You can put the blame on me.
Oh, classic. All right.
Yeah.
So with that, we're gonna switch on over to our caster screen again, right? And we'll do our rapid fire commercial for you. Of course, as always, please consider supporting us and our stream. And then we'll dive into our recaps of Pro and Battlegrounds. So without further ado, hey there, Twitch viewers. Have you subscribed to Team Hearth Legends yet? No, then make today the day to be a legend yourself and subscribe to our channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating our website as well as improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you can actually subscribe to the channel for free. Subscribers get a THL emoticon as well as the lovely THL chat badge. So hit that heart button, keep the notifications on, and make sure you catch our team broadcasting live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest, our website, teamheartlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord, Team Hearth Legends. Check out the THL PAL podcast for power rankings for all series, wherever you find your podcasts. The true Hearth Legend himself, Saku, continues to post all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Just search for Team Hearth Legends to catch everything previously recorded. You're, of course, watching us on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Team Hearth Legends, or possibly on our YouTube channel in the future. And for all you THL fanatics out there, we have THL shows every single day of the week, except when Mako doesn't feel like it. You can't go wrong tuning in at any time for some amazing Hearthstone-related content. Now back to the good part.
Now,
Yes?
can I put someone here on the spot now?
Yeah. Okay, go for it. Let's hear
I
it. Go
just want to
nuts.
say it's not just Mako that needs to be up for it. Someone else needs to put on the tourneys.
Ooh. DeSharmo, what's going on with Maniac Monday? Let's put him on the spot right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's next week. I need to
Nice.
get that.
Ooh.
I need to get that set up,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna
So
have time to do it today. I'm gonna set it up tomorrow. Today,
Nice. Okay.
this is my this is my first week back at school, so I've been just kind of focusing on that. Tomorrow I'll have some time to set it up, so stay tuned
I
for
just
that.
wanted to put pressure. Just on the spot pressure.
Yeah, I don't feel any pressure.
Solid.
Uh-huh.
But let's keep it moving along then, and let's do a recap of Pro as we do, of course, get back to the good part and talk about what happened in Pro Series last week. And
By the
up at
way,
the top,
if you hear
oh, go ahead.
Ron skipping, that's Ron's internet, not mine. Just so you know. Because I don't know if you noticed this, Ron. About 10 times during the stream, you you stop mid sentence, and then
It's so
and then you come
Awesome.
back. So just pointing that out.
Awesome. Thanks, Verizon. All right. Well, let's talk Black Conference, and hopefully I don't skip too much as I talk here, because we have our top teams: Make Love, Not Warcraft. Fantastic team name and logo here. Celebrating the Boars, of course, and then Hype Horizon in the tie for the top spot right now. Both teams at 21 points. We've got Brushy Tuna and Bread Ape as our other two leaders here with 19 and 18 respectively, and then some other teams a little bit further behind. You know, there was an unfortunate situation in the first match between Brushy Tuna and Faction that, you know, unfortunately kind of swayed some points but couldn't be helped. And then we've got some teams just in a little bit of an early hole, but long season and a lot of things that you can do to come on back.
And
So, go
Sushi
ahead.
Rats, I mean, you'll notice a lot of teams will be 0. They did not play poorly. They just had a bye. So we have 9 teams in each conference, and every team will have a bye. So starting off the season, Sushi Rats will be a little bit behind, and so we'll probably want to look at the PPWs overall eventually midway down the season.
Yeah, I mean, even as early as week 2, I think that's how we sorted already for like the standings for who gets their logo up at the top. But that's pretty much what we're looking at always for like who the actual leader in the conference is, because otherwise it's just not fair to the teams that have the early buys.
now here's a question: is 0 over 0 infinity, or is it 0?
Oh, don't do this to me.
It is not
Yeah.
possible, Lotus Knight.
No,
Impossible.
no comment. No comment. Uh, I am interested though to hear your comments on Hype Horizon versus For the Clowns. As we start off with our first highlighted match of the week. For the Clowns, honestly, I gotta say, I tabbed this team as my early favorite to win the entire title for pro, and Hyper Horizon took it to them, 18-8. So Desharmo, talk to me about this one. They even had the GM sub again in Dreadeye in the 5. Now, every time they GM sub, Dreadeye wins, but this time, the team won here, and Hyper Horizon took a really impressive early win.
Yeah, Hype Horizon showing why they're so good, and the winner who like could never lose last season, Liquidox, finally gets an L to German Shep. Not a person you should be ashamed of to lose to, because German Shep is an insane player. But the rest of the team showing, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if the one player loses. We're going to pick it up. And this just shows you Pro Series is just insanely competitive. We have GMs. I don't know. I can't even count how many we have now. It's just we've had it. I think the board we were talking about, I think we've had at least 7 GMs pass by through the THL in
Yeah,
in
and
the
a
last.
casual 2 GMs on Hype Horizon for
Yeah.
this week here with McBanterface and Dreadeye.
Yes. So just insane, and it's good. I think it's good practice for everybody who's playing against them. Kind of shows you where you're at and where you need to work on. And yeah, Hype Horizon. I mean, I can't really say that I would expect less for the Clowns. Strong team, but you can't beat the GMs.
Yeah, I mean, it's never a surprise to see Hype Horizon actually winning in dominant fashion too, with just the skill level of all of their players. And on the other side, still I'm looking at possible future GMs almost across the board. Shep, Nails, Neji, and Pascoa almost actually made it to be a GM and was, a few draws off maybe in the most recent Masters Tour. So really strong team. I expect good things from them in the future, but for now, it's all Hype Horizon.
And I just want to note, Liquidox is going to be a 5 seed this next week because they
Yep.
actually have
Just like that, proceeding flips it around.
yeah,
I feel sorry
and
for
it's going
whoever's
to be
playing Liquid
right.
Hawks next week. That
It's
guy
going to happen.
did not even change his classes and his lists
Yep.
all season and won every week. That's probably why he lost, because he had to change his lists.
True. He's nerfed. Go figure. But let's talk about our next match, which was a little bit closer. Our defending champs leading off the season with a solid victory here. Bread Ape, the new take on Shed Ape from last season. They were actually called Wash Tappers with the name hidden in the title. Now they've embraced just the the completely new name. It's just Bread Ape. There's no hidden message here. And they took that 15-10 over No Pros here to start off the season. Lotus, break this one down.
Sure. Big fans of Banana Bread here won against No Pros here. We had Heat Shock beating Excumate 3-1. Ufric not only beating me on ladder today in a random game, but also beating. Should I bully Steffi right now? Um, I'll say
All it
no.
takes is
That's
one guest
never,
post, and you're like, all right, going in.
never a good idea.
Okay, fine. Lil Nenko, 3-1. CMAC losing to Agent PWE 1-3. Valdis with a sweep against Kaz 1291, and Avi, who was able to have a very positive hero record without playing HS. Actually, suffering a bit for not playing HS against your mom kid.
Can't pay off all the time. but still a solid performance and a win for Bread Ape. And no pros here. They had Agent PWE and your mum kid taking that victory. There's a lot of uh, concede your match that I'm seeing in NPH in this pro team with Lil Nanko, Pee Wee, and your mum kid. But this team still looks very strong. 10 points is solid in an early loss, and there's a long season to make up the gap.
Yeah, also losing to like a really strong team. Red Ape,
I mean,
they're
doesn't
all really
doesn't
good
get much
players.
better than the defending champs there, and they reloaded by adding Avi. It seems good.
Yes, it's kind of crazy.
Although they did lose MPV, right? Who was, or no, MMW. Sorry, not. I sometimes get those three-letter acronyms starting with M mixed up. MMW was their player who basically didn't even lose all season. So that is a hard loss to recover from. But you can do a lot worse than adding THL Hall of Famer. So that is the Black Conference for this first week. Any more thoughts on Black before we move on to Pink?
Well, this is looking to be very competitive. I think for the clowns and up, and we have yet to see Sushi Rats play yet. But all those teams are
Yeah,
just really strong, and I think it's anybody's game. I mean,
yeah, like always.
you can't, and even Sugoi. I mean, they were having a hard time last season, but I mean, you never know.
Hmm.
They have a revamped team this season as well, so some really good players on Sugoi.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I think I called Make Love Not Warcraft as a dark horse team that would do quite well this season. I'm excited to see them lead off with 21 points. So just, excitement awaits.
We get to see
Hmm.
the South Park reference up on the screen.
Yeah, God, that's such a great logo. I love it. All right. Well, with that, let's move on to the Pink Conference, and we no longer have just a Pink Conference overlord um, as the same team that we had been seeing forever. It's kind of been replaced by our new overlords here because Sheepies, maybe kind of quietly through a decent part of last season, was starting to overtake Popeye's spicy chicken sandwiches, who, if you might remember from previous Hearthcenters, was just literally always the top team in Pink since the Pink Conference in Pro had existed. Uh, they're just middle of the pack now. Sheepies, they took the top spot pretty much last season through multiple weeks, or at least the top two, and now they're sitting right there in first place, 21 points to lead off, and F2L, just F2L, no color wheel. The original F2L, I guess, for pro here, starting strong. I was sleeping on this team heading into this season, and they jumped out to a really impressive start with 19 points. We've got 5 boxing wizards jump quickly, close behind them. Aussie Pro Mafia also getting a victory, and a lot of double-digit point totals with the losers. So Poem locked, waiting to play their first game. Of course, they're at 0 because they had a bye in week 1. Yet to see what they'll do, and a lot of really strong teams that are going to make this an exciting race to follow. Let's
Absolutely.
start out with the recap of Sheepies getting their big win early against Undivided. And see, I can take this one here. So starting off, we've got Cyan Sheepies with a 3-0 in the 1 seed against Kelthrag for Undivided. And I don't know a whole lot of players on Undivided, but Sheepies has been running close to the same roster for a little while, and it's just a bunch of strong players. Always Lethal. We've actually seen Always Lethal in every highlight match in each series so far this week, um, going 1-2 across all 3, but the 2 losses were 2 threes. Very strong player and came close in that 5-game series to Sensei 6. Why the Hunter? took that big 3-0 again for Sheepies. Double sweeps is big to deny points to your opponents as well. And then Mikas and Swanky Pants getting a 3-2 and a 3-1 respectively over Dreadhead and Magnificent. Just what more can you say? But Sheepies is probably going to be our Pink Conference favorites again. They're the team to beat, to knock off, to take that logo spot. Very strong week.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really have anything else to say. I think we'll be seeing less DH though, unless you're playing Death Rattle, which was not really popular in the Pro series. I think Lifesteal was more popular.
Yeah, there's a big nerf that could change the performance of Sheepies. We'll see if they can adjust to it, because Demon Hunter across the board there, with the most important card in the combo getting nerfed, does possibly put a wrench in some of those plans.
I mean, there seems to be a new Quest Demon Hunter list, but that might just be day one stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's an early meta where things are still being figured out. But for what it's worth, there was at least one, I think only one, non-OTK Demon Hunter that was brought for Sheepies. But on the other hand, it was brought by Always Lethal, who did get their only loss. So, take that as you will.
But his DH was banned, so
Fair. Yeah. So hard to read into too much there, but the full DH across the board with DH getting nerfed, who knows what's going to happen next. As we move on to our next highlighted match, where we talk about Popeye spicy chicken sandwiches getting knocked off their throne, as Aussie Pro Mafia showing up with a bang. A lot of wild players on this team, proving that they can mix it up with the standard Pro Series players and do quite well. A 13-12 victory. Desharmo, talk to me about this one.
yeah, this is a very close match, and it features our player of the week, Reverb, down 12-9, I believe it was, needing basically a sweep to get the win. I'm sorry? Okay. Basically needing to get a sweep to get the win, and he got it. 3-0, huge win for Aussie APM. Just showing over a very strong team, as you were mentioning. Popeye Spicy Chicken Sandwich was basically the team on the top of Pink Conference, and now you got a new team showing them who's the Mafia, kind of showing people who's a little bit more tougher. The eating up them spicy. I can't speak. Popeye Spicy Chicken Sandwich.
Yeah.
It's a good effort. I see what you're going for. I like it.
I'm tired. It's been a long day for me.
I gotta mention though, Lambie series as a player on Popeyes, just completely insane. There's so much skill in Pro. Again, it's just nuts.
It's crazy.
And it's yet another APM team. I don't know who sent out the memo that we need to name all of our teams APM this season, but a lot of teams doubled down on this, and all of the APM teams are actually doing really well too. Different, captains throughout a lot of these series, but the consistent acronym, maybe it just carries some power in and of itself. Strong start, impressive start, and exciting to see how well a lot of these wild players are able to handle, the standard Pro Series.
Mm-hmm.
Any other things we want to say about Pink before we do our final recap of the week with Battlegrounds?
I think we're ready.
All right.
Let's do BGs.
All right, let
Do
me
some
let me
BGs.
just kind of explain what you're going to see on the screen. In the middle, we got our green split. We'll talk about the blue split second after this. On the left, you'll see the green lobby, which is basically the four teams that played. And then on the bottom here, which won't change in the next one, is the team standings. You can see that if you make a full screen. And then on top, we have the top two teams, Craft Monkeys and Concede Your Match.
Yeah, we don't need to dwell on the acronyms here, but interesting that, those top two teams are in first and second place respectively. Concede Your Match, of course, we've seen over multiple seasons, and they're always right up there at the very top. And Crafty Monkeys, a new team with I believe a lot of the Challenge Stoners crew from previous seasons and other series, and having a really strong early performance. So very impressive start.
Mhm.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, looking at some of the names up here, you're unsurprising. Some of the players that got first place, and then you see some players that are not normally, in BGs or on BG teams playing and actually doing, not excellent, but not doing bad. Like I'm looking down there at Sharkbait, fourth and fifth. Those are very impressive. Um, for being the first time in BGs to pick that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also got to give a shout out to Snake Fods, Pulley Classic, Ricky Bobby, with an eighth and a first. If you ain't first, you're last. Fully embracing it here, and I always love to see something like that. I'm sure he wasn't too thrilled about the last place, but hey, a first place to balance it out feels pretty good.
Just risk it all.
Exactly. Just go nuts. Go for it. Either you hit the high roll or you crash and burn. I'm down. For me, that's just force Murlocs. I don't know if that was his game plan or not. I didn't actually get a chance to watch it all.
Mhm.
But
I would probably force Murlocs too, but that's just me. I am not the BG pro. Would you say? I mean, I'm okay. 6,000 MMR, whatever you call it. I mean, it's not bad, but that's definitely
Better
not
than I.
good. That's not good though.
yeah, we've got some monsters playing in BG series like we have over previous seasons too. We did have, like our reigning champs from the last two seasons actually. First it was Bob's Bounty Hunters, and then it was Lemurs, and I mean they were just populating the leaderboard, and they've left for this season. So maybe the doors open a little bit for some newer teams to take the lead. And I'm pretty impressed seeing in the green lobby the start from Yockster. Lolnenko kind of regularly is up there, but Mewi, we're going with Mewi. Mewi getting the
Yeah.
1 and 2, which is incredible, and then Fire Emblems also with really solid points there. So uh, really impressive early starts from those players carrying their teams, and we'll see if they can keep it rolling.
Hmm.
Awesome. You ready to move on to the blue split
And yeah, let's take a look at the blue split now.
or blue lobby? Not split, but I don't know why I called it this blue split.
True. Yeah. Blue lobby A split, B
Yeah.
split. Yeah. And with blue, our leaders. Wait, hold on. Wait, I think our green lobby was from last season.
Was
The
it?
graphic that was up there. Yeah, we had I think it showed like Bob's Bounty Hunter still. So green actually our leaders in green were Concede Your Match and Daryl and Flurgle OnlyFans, and our leaders in blue are Crafty Monkeys and Don Daith. Those are our top teams in the respective lobbies that we just recently saw,
Nice.
right? Or, and that's just the breakdown. Ignore what I said.
I'm
That's
conf-
just a breakdown of who's in the lobbies.
okay. I'm confused. Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the standings are correct. It's just the green lobby graphic was showing the previous season, I think. But uh, let's not dwell on that. Let's talk about blue lobby A split. We're gonna start off Damon with the most points, and I know Damon is playing on Crafty Monkeys with a first and a fifth, taking down the 15, and friend of Hearthcenter Steffi getting fourth and first and 15 points for her team. Friends of Bob is a pretty. I think she's friends of Bob. Actually, is she risky refresh? Oh, gotta double check stuff. Sorry, Steffi. I forgot what team you're on.
I can check. I can check while you say it.
But yeah, anyway, just really impressive performances from those two to start off. Reverb and Turtle also coming through pretty strong for their teams. And then in the B split, who else? Brushy Tuna coming in with the most points in the B split, a third and a second for Don Daith, while Sazuru and Canoe also putting up some very strong performances with 14 and some change and 13 and some change, respectively.
Steffi is a part of Risky Refresh.
Okay, yeah. I think she was on a Bob related team name last season and mixed me up. Sorry, Steffi. Risky
Yes,
Refresh.
Bob's great.
Love the name too. Bob's Babes, that's what it was. Yeah. All right, but anyway, um, we're a little rusty on our battlegrounds. We needed Steffi again this week.
Yeah.
But there you have it. That is our recap of battlegrounds in this most recent week here, as we've got, very strong performances from Crafty Monkeys Concede Your Match, setting the pace for everyone with Daryl and Flurgle OnlyFans and Risky Refresh. Those would be our playoff teams if the playoffs started today, but that's a major overreaction because we got a lot of season left.
Yes. Now, how many weeks are we going to have of BGs?
That is a great question that I do not have the answer to because I didn't
Fair.
check.
Fair.
But any other things to say about BGs or Desharmo if you know the
Yeah,
how
seven
many
seven
weeks?
weeks.
7 weeks. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, BG's is really, it's kind of meshed up with the other series. It was sort of an off-season kind of thing, and now it's, for whatever reason, it just lined up now with all of our series, and kind of interesting. We have all these things going on at once. We got Legacy, Hero, Pro, Wild NA, Wild EU, and now BG's. It's just a lot going on,
And
and
just
I
a
love it.
ton of content coming your way from THL. Absolutely.
I mean, there was a
Oh,
time
yeah.
in the THL where there were weeks, like days, that nothing happened. Matches or whatever, and it's been for I don't know how long now where we have content every day. So it's just awesome. And then
All content all the time.
some days multiple things, like on Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. And
True.
Thursdays now. Thursdays are going to have 2 shows now.
Yeah, that's just redonkulous.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good thing to talk about as we wrap up the show, and we can head on back to our caster screen as we close it out for the night here. Um, Lotus, I know you always have a lot to say about the match shows that are upcoming. I can usually predict to some extent what you're going to say with your final words, but go ahead, take it away.
So there are a few things about match shows. First, I want to welcome Wild9. This is going to be his first week opping. So I just want to extend a warm THL welcome from everyone in content and really from all of THL because I know everyone has good experiences with Wild9. Saku had a great time teaching him how to op. So I'm sure he's going to be doing an amazing job. If you want to cast in THL, you can always DM me. We have rotating spots on Saturday nights for now. So if you're interested, DM me. And if you would like to play on stream, I never say this first time I do, but you can always DM me if you would like to submit your match to stream. We're always looking for matches. And it's fun to play on stream. There's some good matches and everyone will enjoy it. We promise to be not too harsh and to focus on trying to teach you something fun while you play. Um so those are my main notes on that. There will be the Wild Show. It is going to be Thursday at 6 p.m. We're doing an EU friendly time. So if you're European, you can actually watch the show without having to miss your job the next day. So
Oh,
those and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it to Desharmo and ask him any news on Maniac Monday. What is the format going to be? Any spoilers?
No spoilers. I was just gonna say, be on the lookout for Wednesday tomorrow to hear the format and everything. I'll be posting all that stuff tomorrow afternoon.
nice. Looking forward to it. I mean, when in doubt, always Nas, right?
I'm gonna
But
I'll throw that juicy bit out there. Nas Stone.
nice.
Ooh.
But any other final words on the night for us, Desharmo?
No, it was a pleasure being on stream with you guys. I think things are running a little bit smoothly. Just a little bit some awkward silence every now and then. That yeah, but I think that adds to our I don't know.
Part of the charm.
Yes, there we go. The
Oh
charm.
yeah. We're also missing our fourth person here. We don't have Marty this week.
So just blame Marty. There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this. Usually I blame Donde, but I'm down to blame Marty too.
Both. Both.
Well,
All right.
if
Oh,
you
go ahead.
guys have anything you guys would like to see us do, just let us know and we can try and get it on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some like previous segments that we rotated through that we'd be happy to bring back again, like things like clip of the week or RNG card of the week and things of that nature. There's room to play around with some other possible segments if anyone is interested. So, any feedback, we're always open to hear from you guys and see what you might want to see in the future. But until then, appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out with us again as we recapped the week and looking forward to covering all the crazy THL action that happens in this week as we are back next Tuesday to bring you week 2.
Mm-hmm.
With that, that brings our show to a close tonight. As always, thank you for stopping by and watching and have a great night, THL. See you later.
Night.